Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I am your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Pardon my lack of clap. I will explain why I'm not clapping. But before we get into some of that, I want to see if I can make this work. Cool. Remind folks that Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you by the Independent Creator Directory. Your one-stop shop for the finest in authors, artists, editors, musicians, and creatives of all flavor. If you're looking for proofreaders, cover design support, please consider checking out the Independent Creator Directory. And if you're trying to get yourself online, you want a presence where you can see and be seen, consider joining yourself. The Independent Creator Directory is a product of Joe Bach Tech Apps, and that's JB Tech Apps also makes wonderful applications such as several concrete and construction resource apps, as well as the Big Stompy Robots companion app for the tabletop game. We're also made possible by sales of my books, The Simple Sword, The Fighting Axe, The Simple Spear, all available through Amazon. Sorry, guys. The easiest way to learn the basics of swordsmanship in a way that is concise and simple to learn. So I'm going to drop my sales and get straight into the accountability. Well, basically, I have to talk about what just happened. You may notice that my speech is a little stuttery and I'm not quite moving right. That's because of an accidental cat coup, and where Dusty, my guard cat, got under my foot. I hopped off because I accidentally, I felt coming down on his tail, and he was not hurt. I then hopped off, stepped on something, slid, it careened, and nearly took a header down the stairs. But I caught myself. But in catching myself, I caught my entire weight, basically with a grip, which, while it didn't do any permanent damage, it did actually basically pop everything in my hand and send some real nerve fire. I've got some medicine. I've got some Tylenol, so I should be fine in a few minutes. but I still have to kind of ride the wave of my nerves screaming at me. And I'm still on just a bit of an adrenaline jag since it literally was right before show start. So there is that. Now, accountability. Accountability is a big deal, and I'm going to have a sip of water because I might have yelled power word, my favorite swear, uh, at the top of my lungs. That's a little better. The accountability. First and foremost, all my fingers are in, hey, they're moving again. Cool. Are intact. Hey, my hands started working again. We had a lovely, very moderate 4th of July. We had some leftover fireworks, which I now can officially recommend not doing. We had some interesting effects that I've never seen fireworks do in many years of lighting them. So we did a little bit, and then we called it a night. This is actually a big deal, and I wanted to be much more grand about it. But this, technically tomorrow, which will be between the two streams, marks 1 year of me broadcasting through assorted injuries, ailments, and other shenanigans. It has been a privilege to be the host of Nevermind the Furthermore for a year. I was going to send some invites out, but it sounds like most people are busy. If there's somebody who wants to come in and do panel talk, let me know. I will send you the link for the show if I know you. Let's get into the. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run Joe Bachman's ad a little early so I can get to the chat, because this show is not about me. This show is about you guys, and it is about being of service to both you and the wonderful legacy that Brian K. Morris has left of service to the community and helping build others up and the important stuff. And my study is still under construction. These things happen. Let's hear from, though, Joe Bachman's channel, and then we'll get right back into it.
Hi, I'm Joe Bachman with Behind the Code, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch on the Independent Creator Directory pages. On this show, you'll be able to watch me go through and update the Independent Creator Directory website with new features or new members depending on what we have going on that week. Again, that's Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch on the Independent Creator Directory page. Joe Bachman again with The Burning is Love on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, also on the Independent Creator Directory Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch pages. To find out more about the Independent Creator Directory, visit indiecd.org to find other great authors, artists, game designers, and live streamers. On this stream, you'll get to watch me go through and do various wood burning projects that I put on theburningislove.com. I look forward to seeing you guys there and hope you have a great day.
It's a wonderful post 4th of July day, and we are getting some stuff done. I think my typing will be a bit slower, but through the wonders of modern medicine and a whole lot of physical therapy, things are working up for me. But how are they working for you guys? It has been nearly a year. Now, I had planned to do a panel show, but it seems like, with Carl isn't going to be in attendance, and Carl Witzman is such a major player. I don't know if that seems fair. So how about Friday we do a panel show, and we'll celebrate officially the end of the first year of Nevermind the Furthermore, because I started on July 6th. I hope my streaming has been a little more smooth than it was when we first started. You know, one tries to progress in all things. Certainly the setup is better, and it gives me it's working. A few more days to get things back running how I want behind me, and a little less chaotic. I'm looking forward to that. In creative efforts, I do have a bit of progress. I've been working on my codified RPG, and I have, if it hasn't been lost, a whole bunch of art I get to try to scan into my system as soon as my whole rig is cleared back up, and hopefully I can get that out by the end of the month. The Historical Fencing Guild is going to be doing a opening at the end of the month, so there's a lot of drilling and prep. And next week I'm having Steve Augusto, who is a dear friend and was my first Patreon patron, he's coming down for some training and to hang out, and I'm very much looking forward to having his company, even though it's going to be a huge amount of work. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we're joined by Alex Creations. It's okay, Carl. See you later. Yeah, Carl, you can catch us in the rerun. My stuff's pretty perennial. Morning, by the way. Good morning, Alec. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Hope you slept in. I slept in this morning. Ended up watching my friends blow stuff up. Good for you. Good luck, Carl. I'll be listening mostly. Good vibes needed for Ted today. Of course, I hope all things go well on whatever Ted needs in good vibes. Hi, Alec. And sending good vibes to Ted. Morning, folks. Only halfway paying attention. Starting the week on Wednesday is a lot to catch up. Good morning and happy hump day, folks. And yes, we're hoping everybody has the same number of fingers this morning as they started off yesterday with, even if it means you have to borrow someone else's. Dang it, Joe! Hey, Rich and Joe. Nerve pain after catching yourself with a bad anything. Been there. Apparently inherited a home I can't get rid of. Okay. Whoop. Are you wanting to do a panel today or Friday? I originally was planning to do a panel today, but it looks like we don't have a lot of content, so I'll put the word out to do it Friday so that people can prepare. And I'll let Nita know that some of the folks may be running, our show may run a little late, so I'll apologize ahead of time to her. Rich says, okay, fire's put out, water sprayed on everything else. I might actually be able to pay attention. Given the holiday, are you being literal or are you being sarcastic? I have to ask because, it wouldn't be the first time we've had to go out and put fires out. Morning all, morning Rich. Morning Joe, I'll probably be running your ad in just a minute. I hope everyone is doing well. Morning Joe. Joe D. Rich, Alec. Okay, we're just going. Lots of greetings. And yes, my voice is trying to drop out too. It's one of those. Hi, Joe D. Morning Dawn, Alex Joe's, Sloppy Joe's. Accountability. Yes, let's get into Jody's. Got 6 pages lettered since Saturday's show. I have shared them with the CBS crew, and Carl Witzman he showed interest in the ones from Saturday's show. Wonderful. That was my nickname when I shot pool in leagues, Dawn. Whoo! Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible, Joe. I get that reference. And we got more greetings and more greetings. Depends. Were you good or bad? Depends on how he looks at it. Accountability. We'll be showing the world some pages soon. I will be promoting this issue and the RPG as they go to final edits. Wonderful! In 9-ball, I was good with sloppy shooting. In 8-ball, I just got played lucky. I understand that. And we're joined by Glenn B. Fleming. Nick, Glenn! It's so good to hear from you. You were on my mind today because I saw a lovely little animatic, and I hope I shared it on Facebook and tagged you. I think I did. Just showing how much larger the British Empire was than the Roman Empire, which I find fascinating. And it made me think of Glenn, not Ben. This needs to be off. That needs to be off. There we go. A lot of people like to message me during the show. Metaphor, but yeah, how are you doing? How's your projects coming, Glenn? Metaphorical work week starting middle of the week often has issues to take care of. Okay, well, I got to double check between that and the comment of the house you can't get rid of. I was intrigued. Accountability, not trying to leave anyone out on the production process. Just have a plan that I need to work. No, you make a plan, you work the plan. I respect that. And Joe's greeting Glenn. Glenn! Oh, in the land of nerve pain. Screaming at you after the wound. I was joking about stuck living there. Okay, given your housing situation, I thought maybe somebody passed and now you suddenly had a house to deal with. Accountability. I survived the long weekend. Yeah, it was an interesting weekend. We got to go to a small festival, but it wasn't really set up well. Then we basically had a quiet one at home. Joe's County. Didn't get a single thing done this holiday weekend that I wanted to get done. Hopefully I'll be able to get some done this week. I feel you. I'm hoping to sorry, I didn't realize my wrist was jammed till just a moment ago. And I don't know if that pop was audible, but it just went back where it was supposed to. But I'm sure this is going to be one of those weeks where everybody's a little flustered. And we're going to make it through. I have faith in you guys. Oh. Let's see. Ooh, speaking of animatics, getting back into animation again. Okay, Alec. That's wonderful because your style's really developing, and going back into animation will help you simplify a little bit. It'll help you smooth out your characters, and studying the progress will make you a better artist just because of its repetition. There is an amazing series going on by Jimmy Lorsha DeBron, who is doing a Hooked On animation, and he's animating Studio Paint, and he's doing his wonderful project on an animation called Tiny Tales from his life on Korra. Yeah, Rich, what's going on with the house? Okay, Dad passed in September, and we're still dealing with the house, so I guess it's summer. Okay, I'm sorry. We ruled the 7 seas. Those Roman amateurs only knew the Mediterranean. I knew that would make you happy, Glenn. I knew that would make you happy. And while we're making people happy, I'm a little late on the ad for Joe, but I want to run Joe's old school ad, in part because he's here, and in part because you guys and some of these ads have become just part of the show folks look forward to. So I want to run it.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Hi, we've got Joe lurking in the background, so you got to see me wave because I've had an ad running, but I don't know if he's talkable or if he's just going to lurk, but he has the power to pop in at any point anyway, so I'm not too worried about him. If you there we go. Hey, Joe.
Howdy.
It looks like Friday's going to have to be the panel show because Carl's not here, and I don't see Brian in the chat, and I want to try to see if I can get him in the chat too, you know. But what are you up to today? And what's your accountability, sir?
My accountability is watching over 2 different parts of the project today because I'm the only inspector out here.
That is both impressive and utterly terrifying. And we just lost your audio. That's interesting because just for a second, your audio just cut.
Yeah, my headset just decided to just disconnect from my phone and then reconnect. So that was fun.
Delightful.
Yeah, I'm out here sitting on one of the closed ramps right now, and I figure after lunch I'll run back to the clear other side of the project, see how they're doing, and then come back down here.
Well, thank you for getting the roads built and help keeping them semi-safe and, you know, making sure that there's a limit to how many trolls can fit under any given overpass. Although I do have to say that you have caused an ecological disaster. You see, what happened is Joe Bachman, whom I love, along with his lovely wife, Trelena, started a policy of making the roads safer. And by making the roads safer, they've driven the trolls out from under the bridges so that they can't jump up and, you know, devour souls. The problem is with all these trolls unable to be housed on the bridges, they're showing up on the internet more and more. And it's just one of those odd things of a displacement of a natural, you know, occurring predator destabilizing a region. But we don't blame you, Joe. It's government policy. This message was brought to you by
the number 42, the letter R.
And the coalition to get better. I'm sorry. I'm seeing better versions than what I was thinking popping up in the chat. Yeah, you know, the No Troll Left Behind Act of 2024 that's being promoted. You know, in the 667th district of Indiana, you know. The neighbor of the beast claws. But other than that, yes, I'm going to keep going through the chat, though, because there's some great stuff going on. And let's see. We were trying to finish off getting stuff out, and we want to getting the stuff out we want and then calling some junkers to get it on the market. Cool. Just set my football book to the printer. Should be in Barnes & Noble, Amazon, etc., 25th of July. Congratulations, Glenn. That's great news. And yes, he is referring to what Americans call soccer. For those of you who may not know it. And Hatch is coming. That's great. Somehow that sentence made sense, LOL. I don't know what Dawn is referring to, but I know it's nothing that's come out of my mouth today because I got completely scrambled by nearly falling down the stairs like a deranged Chevy Chase. And you know, my recovery, I admit, has been floppy. But I'd say sloppy, but that's trademark of Joe and his pool playing skills. Then again, you haven't seen me play pool, so Don't worry about it. I'm terrible. Nope, same directions, getting out of control. Good. Do I have your latest Kirby ad? Did you put it in the secret folder? If you put it in the secret folder, I will upload it at my earliest convenience. If you didn't, you should have the link to the secret folder to do so. And folks, I want to remind you, part of the reason the secret folder is set up the way it is, one is because my very volatile system likes working with Google. It doesn't mind Google Drive, so it plays well. The other thing is, my hope is that all of you who broadcast, who put ads in, know you can copy ads out and put them on your shows, so that there's more broadcast of each other's projects. It's goodwill. And yes, you hurt my hand and it makes me stutter. I am that guy. If I can't move my hands around real well, I can't speak nearly as much. The secret to shutting me up, handcuffs. But there you go, Joe. There you go.
Not the green room, not the green room, not the green room.
And said jokingly to Glenn, didn't know you were into teams like the Chicago Bears, the Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, wait, you meant the other football or football. You know what? I will say this in fairness. The vast majority of the world calls it football. That it's probably one of those we should consider just admitting that soccer is football and American football is armored rugby. But and Glenn's complimenting Joe D's commercial. Joe D is the coolest music, fitting for a cool dude. Alex Creation says Kirby. I heard Kirby, and Kirby, I love Kirby. Now, I hope you understand we are referring to the immortal king of comics himself, Mr. Jack Kirby, and not the adorable pink Japanese video game protagonist and bulimic Kirby, or as you Yanks call it, soccer, which ironically is based on, I want to say it was 18th century British slang. I just saw a really neat video. I'll try to find it again on the origin of the word soccer. Because it started with association of football. There was something about dropping off the front end of a word and adding "r" as the slang of the period. So it's fascinating. And Joe B, you are such a brightness. Yes, he is. You light up my life.
Oh, my retro reflectivity. Anybody who says they can't see me out here doesn't need to be driving.
Man, there's got to be a way I can homebrew retro reflectivity into a spell variant for you, Joe, for one of the games, because that's just such a. What's he do? Joe casts retro reflectivity. I can almost say it today. Leave my udders out of this. Oh, but they're full and bouncy, and we like good udders. Let's see. From Jody, we did get to watch Pele play in the 70s and 80s. Football leagues here in the States, Glenn, it's not a popular sport here until World Cup rolls around. And yeah, that's true. Most people don't care, which is kind of tragic. Alex Creation's Kirby book is right there. And it's an amazing book with a DVD where Glenn got to interview Jack Kirby on it because he met him on a couple occasions. And as an aspiring artist, knowing your roots is a very good thing. So knowing Kirby is someone you should know, even if a lot of people criticize because it's primitive by modern standards on a lot of things. However, when you start looking into composition and the more mechanics of it, there's so much to be learned. So please consider studying Kirby. It'll help your career.
Going back to the football comment for just a moment.
Please.
And it only being popular when the World Cup comes around. I mean, soccer can be fun to watch, but if I want to watch people struggle to score for 90 minutes, I'll just sit at the bar and people watch.
Wow. And let's see, we've got, yep, I know those guys played. And Johnny's hashtag, give me back my bridge. Give me back my fillet of fish. Give me my fish. Glenn's dying.
That's an old commercial. Good Lord, that is an old commercial.
I asked somebody, but where's the beef? I got in trouble with that one too. So yeah, we are old. Accept it. Embrace it. And Glenn says, get the DVD of me talking with Jack in his studio. From me. Yes, do it. If you have the funds. If not, put it aside and consider it. It's really a good resource. We don't just have the impactful players in football anymore in the States. It seems like people are coming here to play the game to raise a level of competition. Interesting point. Who thought we'd be talking sports on this show? Hey, things go south, I can always go back to living under a bridge so long as those folks keep those freaking goats. So, well, okay, Reggie, remember, if you want to go back under a bridge, you have to file for a bridge occupation permit from your local zoning board. Just ask for the paranormal application form under the Secrets Act of 1973. That should get you where you need to be.
And I do believe the form number is TR011.
Yes. TR011. Thank you, Joe. See, I knew you'd know. No, we're all about helping the community build up and understand what they're going.
It's available online and must be filed in triplicate.
But where do you find carbon paper this day and age? Anyway, from the desk of the Small Press, Joe, they're all going to Saudi. Big money.
I have heard that, actually, with a lot of the soccer players.
Yeah, I wonder how big Saudi money will be when, as we get farther and farther off needing oil as a primary, as we get away from gasoline.
There's still a lot of time before those players have to worry about that.
Oh, I know. I just ponder such things. I love the name Kirby. Whoever has it, it must be great. It's so funny that you love the name Kirby, and I hope that Johnny is around, because Kirby is a one-handed cleric that Johnny had to deal with, was very, very rude at points. And, he a variant of him may appear in game. Shoot me that link so I can run some stuff for folks in my Random Richie Rants and Ruminations. Sure, I'll get you the secret folder for the advertisers. Just remember,
send it to me again, too, please.
Sure.
I need to favorite it. I keep forgetting to.
It's okay. I will send that out. The only reason I don't send it out to just everybody open is I'm trying to, ironically do some troll prevention, because I'd hate for somebody to come by and just delete all the ads or something stupid like that. No, I know Elma Lamau. Okay, cool. Just checking. And you get mad respect for knowing that. And here's the Kirby book ad at this commercial. Doesn't matter if it's a British word. They haven't won anything since 66. It's not up to them. Wow. Johnny plays, by the way, and is quite a talented soccer player in his own right. So it's going to get real interesting real fast. We're going to have some hooliganism. But while we are waiting for that to fire up, I'm going to run another ad real quick. And, I'm going to run Cindy's. I haven't seen her today, but we need it. She needs to have an ad. I now have to explain it because it loaded. When I was at ALA in Chicago, American Library Association conference, one of the giveaways was one of these really nice little with integrated mini pen pocket notebooks by a company called Khajiit. And of course, my response is, has wares? Because yes, that is a Skyrim joke. If you get it, bonus points. If you don't, no worries. Let's see. At Glenn, what's going on with the Comics Unlimited podcast? I've been in withdrawal from lack of show. That's a great question. I love the way the Yanks have a World Series with only teams in it are Yanks. Could it make that up? Well, you know what? I'm still kind of confused how we have a Miss Universe pageant, and yet, Alpha Centauri is not represented. Heck, there's no one even from Titan or any number of the Jupiter's moons. I'm telling you, it's rigged. It is rigged. Too ADD to follow sports ball for long. Now, poker I can watch for hours, but I get stuck trying to watch the micro expressions. I understand that. Same with Mr. Universe. See, Glenn understands. Just you know what? Just once, I'd like to see them do a Mr. Universe pageant and either animate or have a puppet of like a gray come out. I got one of those. Have one of these guys come out as a contestant in the Mr. Universe pageant. Maybe a Wookiee.
No, I try to stay out of the competition.
You want me to represent Hobbitdom? Anyway, from the desk, it's coming back soon, Joe. Wonderful. R.I.P. Clara, the lady who made the Where's the Beef commercials. Oh, that's sad. She brought a lot of joy to people. When in a healthful state, I don't mind playing sports ball, just can't stand watching it. I understand that too. Although I did find hockey to be fairly entertaining. And I don't mind football, American football, if it's far enough back that I can see the way the plays are being lined up, because then it's a tactics game. And I find that aspect of it interesting. And Richie's grandfathered in with a lifetime charter in Trolldom before there was an internet. That makes sense. Kirby was just Manos's Mecca. Oh my God. Okay, you do not understand how funny this comment is unless, and you are not allowed, Alec. Alec, this is not for minors. But if you go to Red Valkyrie Presents, the first season of Dice Dudes and Dames, I had the pleasure of GMing. And it was a thing that happened. And a lot of it got real interesting. I need to go back and set up a longer format role-playing game online, but would take the right players. And getting that scheduled is always a bit of a disaster. But we shall see, because that was fun. And Manos is just a handy guy. Since we're talking about sports and Kirby Puckett. Okay. Something I know nothing about. Lamau, Glenn Fleming, I guess teams in Canada are considered Yanks too. Two countries that don't make up the world per se. Yeah, well, you figured that out despite the American educational system. I was in shock. A gallon of sweet tea costs more than a bag of gummy bears, not even good ones. I'm so lost in that because I'm like, do I want sweet tea or do I want gummy bears? I feel like I'm standing at a Casey's. And friends, I did not choose the Casey's life. The Casey's life chose me. World Series has Canadians. Mr. Universe is bodybuilding. And then why isn't Dr. Frankenstein involved?
He was, but then he found out it was the wrong type.
Ah, I'm not going to look it up. Don't worry. Good, because you'll get spoilers for the campaign that I'm running for you. And thank you for explaining. I caught that one. I understood that reference. I am insanely proud of me. So I'm going to run a commercial. I want to run a commercial I haven't run in a while. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to run Grant Lankert's commercial because it needs to be run.
Greetings, ghouls and boils. I'm the Ghoul Master, a loving homage to horror anthology narrators of yesteryear. Wait, I'm an homage? Why didn't anybody tell me? You'll hear from my agent about this. But first, let's get to the heart of the matter. I'm here to tell you about the new horror anthology, Memoirs of the Morbid, on Kickstarter in time for Halloween. Memoirs of the Morbid is a black and white homage to classic horror comics from the 40s and 50s, containing 5 self-contained stories by some of the best indie comic creators out there. There's that word again. I better not find out homage is an insult. Anyways, Memoirs of the Morbid is completely done and ready to go to the printer. So don't make a grave mistake by missing it.
Whew. I am so glad that I was muted a moment ago. See, I'm trying to get the little bones in my hand to go back where they're supposed to. And that first initial clunk, words were said.
Are you trying to say any hopes of monetization would have been out the window?
It bordered on prodigious because I didn't expect it. Usually I can keep it down to my favorite 4-letter word. That's all about silencing it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not that word. Woo!
Well, I've popped some bones and said a few things that would have made a sailor blush. So
Oh yes, that was a near green room grade swearing for a moment there. But and yes, those who there are rare occasions where I will go into the green room and go, friends, if no one minds, I may need to rant just for a bit. And if no one minds, I do. And it's very cathartic. It's how some people learn that I have a much broader vocabulary than they think. Let's see. Glenn, I guess NHL isn't really national either, since leagues from 2 countries. I think Sports League doesn't care about borders, Lamau. Again, the World League of American Football eventually became NFL Europe. Sports don't like geography at all. No, I think sports are like everything else. They should be for everybody. And the more I study geography and the more I study history, the more I just want to go up to world leaders and kind of smack them upside the head and go, why? Because so many problems would be solved with, a simple, dear world leaders, don't be a dick. Like that clause right there would solve so many of the world's problems. It's like, but wait, are you being a dick? Then maybe you shouldn't do it. Let's see. Alex goes on. I'm drawing my online D&D group still. 2 people joined, so now there's around 9 people to draw together. Very interesting concept situation. That sounds fun. Now that I have the art that I've been drawing for yours, I'm trying to figure out how I want to format it to be tiles or tokens, because I may do them as little standees, but I may just take the heads, expand them, and put them on about 1-inch round cardboard pieces and use those as tokens, because that might be a little easier on everybody. I may need to ask some folks how they feel about that. Don says, I've said things that made a sailor blush. I bet you have. But you know, you can also demonstrate things that'll make a sailor blush too, Dawn, and that's part of why we love you. That's not the whole reason, but it certainly doesn't hurt. I also, this man here, when we, I'm looking at accountability. It's like, oh no, Nick, it's not accountability. You has homework. This man here, right here, has given me access to homework. So I'm now taking, or I will be starting sometime today, a course on not clapping after you've dislocated bones in your hand. That's something I need to take a course in.
I gave him access to a game design course. The same website I've been using to learn Godot and being able to program a game in 2D also has a course on basically plotting the game, how to design the levels and stuff like that.
Plotting level design. I'm going to have to come up with bosses and all that fun stuff. But at least I don't have to do the raw numbers. We have raw numbers. It's all play tested. It's all balanced. We just have to figure out what we're doing with it. I find that oddly exciting. It's almost like some mad lad made everything real simple numbers to work with. I don't know who did, but boy. Let's see. The Paula Abdul song and dance at his birthday dinner. One last
Rich,
night.
I really hope you're using voice to text because I don't know where that fits in with everything else.
Okay, that is a reference. Because first I went to last night in San Pedro, but there's nothing. It's gone. Boo. I'm afraid that my brain is turning smooth while Richie's smelling toast, and poor Joe's trying to keep the stream together while I keep rocking myself with blasts of raw agony for you guys' amusement. Come to think of it, at least the Little League got it right with its World Series, so there is hope for sports and geography. Okay.
That is true.
Exactly, Rich. And that was innocent, LOL. Okay. So it was a reference of one that I'm putting the pieces together, and it's difficult to keep the brain functioning. Because if Don Dulas was doing a Paula Abdul dance at somebody's birthday dinner, somebody had a very happy birthday indeed. Bad thing about Godot is I'm still waiting. Okay, I'm just going to keep rocking. Accountability. Finally, sitting down and writing Nitsu's backstory. I will share the document with you, Nick, once I get some good progress on it. Rock on. I hope the headband fits. I also figured out old name for Nitsu before he transitioned. Cool. It was a reference for Dawn. Good, because I thought I smelled toast. People of AO3 will be surprised when my grammar skills when I use them. Oh, you're a fan of AO3. Awesome. AO3 is a very neat service. That's an archive of their own. Of our own. Sorry. I added proper grammar. You okay, Rich? Rich, Joe. I can speak.
Okay, now the next comment just came in from Rich. It makes the Godot thing understandable now. So I'm sitting there. I'm going. Yeah. Well, I'm going through my mind. I'm like, was I supposed to give Rich access to that account also? I don't remember.
No, Rich, no. I want you to know how bad that hurt for me to do that. No. You're going to finish one of your stories. You're going to get it out. No. Bad. Don't make me get the squirt bottle. Bad Rich. Bad Rich. Back to your desk. Oh, Joe, you know my basement exists for a reason, although we'd have to get some hella HEPA filters. Guys, I have agonized for the last few days because Joe came over and we were hanging out and we were having a grand old time. And I watched his face go, foomp. Like I could see the swelling as we were talking outside of the exposure to cats get to you.
I was trying to figure out why a load of stone just drove past me leaving the job site when they should be bringing stone in. Oh, never mind. I know why. Sorry. Continue on.
Everybody must get stone. Oh no, are you dropping it off in my driveway? No,
Oh, I'd hate to see that shipping charge from clear up here.
bill it to Gary. Anyway, but don't bring the stone from Gary. I don't need a transaxle in my driveway. We got humor from Alec. We got, long story short, Ted's birthday was on Sunday, eating dinner. Abdul song came on in a restaurant. Dad's moves from the 6th grade memory unlocked. Did the ones I remembered while sitting at the diner.
I remember seeing your post about that, Dawn.
I didn't. And I remember how Paula Abdul at least used to dance. That's the problem with being an artist, friends. When you're an artist or you're a creative, you begin to manufacture images and video files in your own head. If they ever figure out a way to do it where it's not too nightmarish, which it will likely be nightmarish, the idea of being able to plug an Ethernet cable into the back of my brain and just download that stuff to you guys, like, y'all got to see this, just seems rather delightful. But I think that would be.
Don't stay plugged in too long, because Rich and I are liable to just rickroll you if you stay plugged in too long.
Oh, I know. I completely know that. There's so many people who would be trying to rickroll me, but that means they got to crack that door. And do you really want to see what's lurking on the other side of that particular level of dimensions?
Can't be much worse than mine.
Exactly. Well, that's why we get along. Let's see. Don't reference which song. The song would give away which dance you did. I'm gathering intel here, Joe. Hush you. And I'm sorry. I got that out thinking just things you can say online or in a chat that you can't say in person. Can you imagine somebody turning to Jody McPhee and going, "Shush you"? the doom that would be unleashed upon them. Oh, it's delightful. I love you, Joe. Okay. Nick, I bet you would not see this for Nitsu coming. Okay. Forever Your Girl. Aw, that's sweet. I was in a pageant in 6th grade. That was our big dance number. I didn't win. You have my condolences. It was obviously wrong. Totally wrong. It's wrong. It was stolen. I'm telling you news. It's fake. Rick rolling. Absolutely. That will never not. I find it funny. I laugh at Rick rolls. Oh, our chipset? Not really. I find it genuinely funny. My generation's favorite thing. I've been rickrolling people since before it was sarcastic. Can't be worse than mine either. Lamau, Nick, that happens at me in real. I got used to it. Oh God, there's only one response to somebody. You know, I just see this image of Joe at a convention, right? So he just goes, shush! And the announcer kicks in. What's that? He's pulling a kendo stick out from under the table! Oh, the humanity! Well, Alex got a duck. I have to go now. Bye. Well, you have a lovely day, Alec. See if
Have a good day, Alec.
We're getting real close to the end, so I'll run another set of ads real quick, and then we'll see who's doing what and how talkative folks are. It's been a quiet one. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this. Well, I do.
Amtrak's going.
Are you absolutely sure about this, Toyvin?
Absolutely.
I hit the wrong bloody ad, but that was funny, so I'm going to let it go. Project that Mike Jimmy's been working on, both Life on Court itself and the animation that's been ongoing is just so cool. It's neat beyond words. 2, I just realized I could take that clip and trim it and have Nita Lanning saying, "Are you absolutely sure about this?" Because that might come in handy, you know. And I do love Nita dearly. But let's see. The chat has gone pretty well quiet, and we've run
One
ads.
thing I wish StreamYard would do is actually let you add folders for the videos, so you can keep things separated.
Yes, within the brand, and I also wish that I could access all my videos across my different brands. Because if I try to pull a video or a reference out of my Nevermind the Furthermore for the commercials, if I'm doing something like Art Time with Nick, I don't. It automatically switches everything over to Nevermind the Furthermore, and or that we've had a couple times where an episode of Nevermind the Furthermore has interrupted the Historical Fencing Guild live stream and vice versa. So you never really know what's going to happen anytime I'm actively streaming. But that seems standard. I mean, yesterday we had visitations from gigantic spiders and more stuff slides than I'd care to mention. Today we've had unexpected Joe Bachman, which is more than welcome. I do think Friday will be a panel show because I want to reach that out to some folks. And I realize I can do that ahead of time, so I will do that. I will tell you guys that we may be playing with the schedule about Fridays. And I say that because my wife usually has Fridays off. And so Thursday night becomes our Friday night. And if I didn't do a Friday stream on a Friday, we'd have, 3-day weekends every single week. So I have to think about this, or, 3 weeks a month. But we'll see. We'll see what our attendance is Friday. But Joe, is there anything you want to promote before we go?
NDCD.org for all your creative needs. Slow down in work zones.
Shakespeare. What about Shakespeare in the Park?
Yes, Shakespeare in the Park. That is coming up at the end of this month. The New Chicago Parks Department is partnered with the Gary Shakespeare Company. They are doing a live performance on July 28th of The Tempest. And the pre-show to that, we will have the Historical Fencing Guild doing a live showing consisting of Nick, myself, Amanda, Trey, and possibly Richie, and whoever else. I don't know if you've gotten a hold of Jim.
I haven't heard back from anybody, at least on my part. You froze up at a really great expression. We'll see if Jim wants to come out. I'm still reaching out. This is a very busy time for most folks. So we will find some way to keep it entertaining. I was really on my way to get my strength up enough that I could use these steel rapiers. But if not, we'll have to go plastics for the weight. And that's okay. This is behind the scenes stuff, folks. We'll figure it out. But with that, guys, I hope you all are staying creative. Keep drawing, keep writing, keep making it happen, because you can always edit it. You can fix it. You can improve it. But you can't edit a blank page. I'll be back Friday for another episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. Oh, I wish I could drive more than 30 minutes at a time. I want to go. We'd love to see you. We would love to see you there, Dawn. Well, you know what? Joe, can you send her the address? Maybe it's not as far as she thinks, because I'm not sure where Dawn is.
I think she is south even of Donna and Carl. And I know for me to get to Donna and Carl's is a couple hours minimum.
Well, that stinks. Well, I'm sorry. Well, there's a good chance that at least some of it will be recorded. We'll see. There are, shenanigans in the works. No promises, but always shenanigans. With that, guys, we love you. Have a great day. Thanks for coming on, Joe. Toodles.
Yep.